Hey guys, I'm back with another witchy book haul, and I must say this is turning out to be one of my favourite kinds of videos to do because I love buying witchy books and I love talking about them and sharing them with you guys. So I think this is Witchy Book Haul Volume 4 now, and I've got a big stack of books here. I think I've got 17 books here. There's supposed to be 18, but one of them decided it didn't want to be delivered, so I will tell you more about that one anyway, because I just didn't want to wait any longer. I just wanted to make this video. And like I said, I've got a big ass stack of books here, and it's all on quite a varied topics as well, so it's quite nice. But I've been getting these books for the last maybe month or 6 weeks, but I'm like half dressed and half in pyjamas, but I've got a jumper on because it's getting colder. I like it. It's the autumn weather now. But anyway, back on topic. I've been getting these books for a few weeks, but some of them I've had to order from like random websites to find them, and some of them have taken a while to be delivered from America, and they've been like held up because of all the hurricane and storms and stuff, so they've taken a while to be delivered. But here we go with the first book. I shall just take this off my giant stack here, and you can kind of see how my interests have changed and how my kind of craft is evolving in the type of books that I've been buying as well. But the first book that I bought is, well, I bought this when I did my last book haul, but it took ages to get delivered, and that is Grimoire for the Green Witch, a complete book of shadows by Moura, the same author that did the Green Witchcraft series that I showed you in my last book haul. I bought a lot of her books. I think I bought about 3 or 4 of her books, and this is her grimoire. So I wanted to get this to kind of complete the collection of her books and get a good overall sense of green witchcraft. And this book is 304 pages long, and it's a pretty good book. Like, let's just do a little flip through there. It smells like a new book. I love that. And on the back it says, it gives you the categories. It's classed in New Age, Witchcraft and Magic. Think not that any secrets have been given away here, or that any oaths have been violated, for nature has no secrets, but is open and free to any who have the will to explore, listen, observe and learn. And at the end of my rituals I say, as I have received, may I offer food for the body, mind and spirit to those who seek such of me. By taking this book of shadows into your hands, you're accepting from me that which you seek, food for your body, mind and spirit. Take and use that which appeals to you, change or alter those things that you feel you should, and add your own entries in the blank pages provided for this purpose, for a book of shadows and grimoire grows with each generation. Let this book be a guide for you as you walk along your own path with the goddess and the god. May your craft flourish in joy, may the divine inspire you, and blessed be thy feet that bring thee on thy path. And Moura. So I think that's really good, and I think this was one of the books when I was trying to look into green witchcraft without knowing that I was kind of looking into green witchcraft, if you know what I mean. I come across this book on Google Books, and you know, you can like view the books, and I was like reading a couple of pages and I was like, wow, that sounds really great. And so it just kind of described my craft, but as somebody else had written it, even though it was like I was saying it. So that's why I wanted to get these books. So I think if you're interested in green witchcraft, I think Moura is a good author to look into, and I will leave links to these books in the description as always, so you can check them out. But I do really like this one, and I haven't read the other green witchcraft books yet because I was waiting to get all of them so I could read them all like continuously. But that's the first book that I got. Now the next book is the book that I'm annoyed about that didn't turn up, and it's supposed to be the Modern Guide to Witchcraft, your complete guide to witches, covens and spells, in the kind of series of books that I will show you in a minute by Skye Alexander. And I was supposed to get this, but for some reason I accidentally ordered 2 copies of this book. So I've ended up with 2 copies of this book, and you can see I've already read this one and I've got loads of pages marked out. So I've got 2 copies of this and I'm not happy, and I can't send it back because it was like an effort to get it here. So I have ordered again the Modern Guide to Witchcraft, and that will be coming soon, but I was too impatient to wait for it to turn up, so I just decided to mention it in this one, but you'll see that in my next book haul probably. But the next book that I ordered was the Modern Guide to Witchcraft. I love these series. Book of Tarot, Your Complete Guide to Understanding the Tarot, and this is again by Skye Alexander. It is 288 pages long and it smells really good. But let's give you a little look there. It's quite a cool book. And it says, unlock the secrets of the cards. For hundreds of years, the tarot has been an essential tool used in witchcraft, from divining the future to aiding in spellcasting. Now your destiny can be revealed to you with the Modern Witchcraft Book of Tarot. As tools to aid a witch's natural clairvoyance, the tarot and witchcraft are entwined, with the cards and the craft shifting. As tools to aid a witch's natural clairvoyance, the tarot and witchcraft are entwined, the cards and the craft sharing many symbols and roots in the elements. Spellcraft and tarot expert Skye Alexander teaches you how to interpret and connect with the cards. From reading spreads to using your deck during spell casting, you will soon grasp the full power of the tarot. Whether you are curious about your future or would like to strengthen your magical work, you'll be fascinated by what the Modern Witchcraft Book of Tarot reveals. And I don't know a lot about tarot, and it's something that I've been quite interested in, and I'm finding it difficult to learn about it because I can't just sit myself down and do it. So I like this author and I like this style of books, so I thought I would give this one a go, and obviously I wanted to complete the collection. But look at that, it's such a beautiful cover. Lovely. So that's my next book. And then, sticking with the same theme, I will show you the next one that I got, and that is the Modern Witchcraft Grimoire, Your Complete Guide to Creating Your Own Book of Shadows. And this again is 288 pages. Wow, she likes 288 pages. And this says, discover the power of the Grimoire. A Grimoire records your personal journey through the world of magic. It's where you record your favourite spells, chronicle your magical developments, and keep your most treasured secrets. And now, Skye Alexander, spellcraft expert and author of the Modern Guide to Witchcraft, teaches you how to create your own. First, you'll learn the importance and history of the witch's grimoire. Then you'll go step by step through the process of putting together your very own book. From selecting spells to blessing your grimoire, you'll be able to personalise your book of shadows and tailor it to your specific powers. With your own grimoire in hand, you'll be ready to continue your journey in learning the craft. So I thought this was a cool little book as well, and as you can see, I have actually been reading this copy. But I love these books, and they're just so pretty. Look at the covers. Judge these books by the covers because they're so cute. But I've got two of these, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I might give this one away to somebody. Not sure yet. The next book, I'm trying to do this really quick because I've got so many books to get through, but the next book, again, it's just such a lovely cover, and I actually got this one in Waterstones, and I was quite surprised that I found it. I had to go to Kent to go to a shopping centre there, and I just love their Waterstones. It is so big. It's one of the biggest stores I think that's not in London. So this is the Green Wiccan Herbal, 52 magical herbs plus spells and witchy recipes, and this is by Silja. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not too sure, but this is only 160 pages, but it is really cute, and it's got such lovely illustrations in it. Look, I'll just show you one of the pages there, but how lovely is that? It's a really beautiful book. And on the back it says, within the treasure trove of herbal witchery are 52 herbs from your kitchen, garden and the wild, along with their magical properties for spell casting. Create your own spells or choose from those by Wiccan High Priestess Silja for love, fertility, money, wisdom and more. How to grow and gather magical herbs in accordance with the phases of the moon, and spellcasting, coven rituals and colours and crystals to use with your magical herbs. I thought that was really cool, and I think I was browsing, as I do quite often, on the Waterstones website and came across it on there. So I really like the little drawings in here. They're so cute. Oh look, chapter 4, the 52 major magical herbs. See, I think this is a really handy book to have, and that's why I'm glad I've got it in my collection. Like, I've got so many books on like herbs and essential oils and stuff, but I really like how this has got stuff about growing with the phases of the moon. So it's not just about the herbs, but it's about growing them as well, if you know what I mean. So I thought that's a pretty cool book. The next book, I saw somebody took a picture on Instagram of it, and I was like, oh, that looks like a cool book. Instagram is a great place to get witchy book recommendations, and this is Moonology, Working with the Magic of Lunar Cycles by Yasmin Boland, and it's a really pretty book. But again, I'm looking more into working with the moon and the moon cycles and stuff, so I thought this was a really cool book. And on the back it says, making the seemingly impossible possible. Have you ever tried to make something work and it just felt impossible? This book may well be your missing link that you need. Understanding the moon's magical 8 phases will help you to improve and empower every aspect of your life. You will know better what to expect in the days ahead, how to time important events in your life, from sending a crucial email to getting married. You will also use the moon as a self-care guide and planner. Discover why getting in tune with the moon can change your life for the better, how you can predict the weeks ahead based on the moon, powerful rituals and ceremonies for working with the moon, how to work with each new moon to create magic in every part of your life, why the high point of the lunar cycle, the full moon, is a powerful time for shifting blocks and practicing forgiveness, the benefits of working with the energy of the moon on any given day. You'll also learn affirmations, visualizations, and chants to use and discover the role of archangels, goddesses, and ascended masters. This is a book for all those wishing to consciously create their own lives, to deepen their connection with nature and the divine, and to take their spiritual practice to a new level. So climb on board, we're off to the moon. So I thought that was really cool. I haven't actually looked inside this book yet, but I will give you a little super quick flip through there. But just from reading the bit on the back, it sounds really good. And I always read about, oh, you should do this type of work and this type of spellcraft at this type of like phase of the moon. And I'm always like, how do you know that? So I think this is a good little research book for that purpose. And it's 256 pages. The next one is talked about a lot. I've seen online. I again found this book on Instagram. I think it was the same person posted a picture of this book and the next one together, and that's how I found out about it. But I've seen a lot of people talking about this already, and this is Witch Unleashed, Untamed and Unapologetic by Lisa Lister, and I have seen a lot of people talk about this already, so I'm quite looking forward to reading this book. And it is 304 pages, so this would probably take me a couple of days, maybe 3 days to read. But it says, a witch is a woman in her power. She's a wise, a healer, someone who is aligned with the cycles of Mother Nature and the phases of the moon. Yet for so long the word witch has had negative connotations, being used as an insult, a slur, and to perpetrate fear. In this book, third-generation hereditary witch Lisa Lister explains the history behind witchcraft, why in past centuries the word witch has led women to be tortured, drowned, and burned at the stake, and why the witch is now waking once again in women across the world today. This book will help women to remember, reconnect, and reclaim the word witch and its power. It provides an overview of many different versions of witchcraft and their core principles and practices, and shares ancient wisdom made relevant for waking witches, including how to, and I love that the little bullet lined list is like little crescent moons instead of bullet points. Just like that little detail. Align your energies with the wheel of the year, the Sabbats, and the cycles of the moon. Connect with and trust your intuition. Use divination tools such as oracle cards, scrying, and rune reading to help make decisions about your future. Cast circles, create altars, and set sacred spaces. Work with elements of nature and use herbs and crystals to support your spiritual practices. Discover and work with 5 different aspects of the witch: the force of nature, the creatrix, the healer, the oracle, and the sorceress. Rediscover your powers and manifest your reality with spellcasting. Lisa also shares her journey to reclaiming the word witch, along with personal hands-on rituals and spells from her family lineage of gypsy witch magic. So this sounds pretty cool, and I'm really excited to get into this book and start reading it. And I like the cover. I really like the design of this book. I always look at good designs on books. But that sounds really cool, and I know there's going to be some like overlapping in these books, because this was like about herbs and I've got a book all on herbs, but I like to get a different view, like I said before, and kind of compare what different authors say and then make up my own mind. But yep, this seems like quite a good book, and from what I've heard so far it is really interesting. The next book is a bit of a silly book, but I was in foils and I was searching the like spiritual section, and it's not very big, so I ended up looking at all the other stuff around there, and this is a bit of a funny book that I saw, and this is The Mysterious World of Cats by Herbie Brennan, and it's the ultimate gift book for people who are bonkers about their cats, and it's all just about just like the history of cats and stuff, and it's like, why do we love them? There are 7.9 million cat owners in the UK and up to 96 million in the USA. Cats are the most popular pets on the planet, and now, at last, we can begin to understand why. I like cats, you know that. The Mysterious World of Cats is a far-reaching investigation into the life and lore of mankind's real best friend by a world-renowned expert on matters enigmatic and bizarre. An investigation that will introduce you to the weird treatment of cats in ancient times, reveal humanity's extraordinary behaviour towards cats in the present day, carry you beyond the dawn of history to probe a feline secret that has lain hidden for millennia. Our journey will also meet the deaf cat who could hear bats, the stray cat who could become a senior transport company executive, the cat who was elected leader of a famous political party. Sounds interesting. And the most important of all, you will learn the astounding truth about the real relationship between you and your cat, and the truth will change your view of cats forever. I thought this was cute, and it was like 256 pages. It's a little hardback, and I love the little art on the cover. I was really drawn to the cover. It's so cute. But I just thought this was funny, and I don't have a book on cats, I don't think. What magic, myths, and shamanism teach us about their secret powers. The Mysterious World of Cats. I thought that was just a cute little read. I thought it was quite fun. Now getting into the other section of books that I've been buying a lot of, and there's a reason for this, but I will go through them all and then I'll tell you a bit about why. But I want to do a separate video just on this kind of topic of books anyway, which I might explain about why I'm getting into this a bit more. But the first book is Seashell Therapy, Discover the Healing Power of the Sea by George Toth. And it says, it's a really little thin book. You could probably read this in the day. It's like 108 pages. But it says, in Seashell Therapy, author George Toth discusses the raw strength and influence of the Earth's oceans that hold the answer for how you feel physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Seashell Therapy explores ways to use the power of the ocean as natural life force energy, converting the elements of sound, sight, touch, and spirit within the seashell and transforming these elements into a healing influence. This book discusses Toth's personal experiences with seashells and reviews the biological nature of shells and mollusks. Talks about myths and rituals surrounding shells. Summarises seashells and their attributes based on multicultural designations. Provides an overview of historical and contemporary practices with shells. Examines healing and therapeutic techniques. Offers visual imagery exercises and other techniques to complement more traditional therapies, and gives case studies from Toth's therapy practice. By allowing natural energy forces of the sea to come into your life, you will discover the benefits and healing properties of seashells, combining ancient customs, mythology, little-known facts, demonstrated techniques, ascribed characteristics, magical approaches, and modern methods to complement traditional healing modalities. Seashell Therapy provides a tool to help you discover and maintain wellness in life. With one or a bucket full of seashells, you can change your life. So that's pretty cool, and it says George Toth is currently a psychotherapist, hypnotist, and faculty member of the National Guild of Hypnotists. So I thought that was really cool and really interesting, and kind of sea witchery and ocean magic and elemental water magic is something that I'm getting into at the moment. So I think this is a great book just focusing on seashells. So I thought that was a cute little read, and it's pretty cheap. It's only like £7 online, and yeah, I could read that in a day. So that's pretty cool. The next book is always kind of mentioned in sea witchery book lists. The Untraining of a Sea Priestess, a practical journey to connect with cosmic water wisdom. And this is 208 pages, so again, it's not massive. And you can see I've started reading a bit of it. And on the back, oh, I didn't even say who it was by. It's Stephanie Leon Neal. And on the back it says, The Untraining of a Sea Priestess details the extensive knowledge from author Stephanie Leon Neal, gathered from her many years of training in the Sea Priestess tradition. Every page contains an opportunity for transformation by teaching you how to untangle from your attachments and embrace the joy of cosmic water wisdom. Allow yourself to discover your hidden abilities while nurturing your true nature through the seasoned precepts presented by Stephanie Leon Neal. Throughout the book, Stephanie gives techniques for recovering your own connection with the cosmic water web, an infinite source of knowledge and wisdom. Guided meditations and introductory techniques to divination provide you with a base to create your own relationship with the cosmic waters that permeate all things. This connection with the cosmic water wisdom will push you to reconsider what your genuine core beliefs are. It's a big statement. And provide means of communicating with greater wisdom around us. This is your time to change the world through your unique life. The greatest mystery on earth is what you will do, and now you know the keys are in your hands. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And I mean, I'll give you a flip through, but there's no like art or anything in there. It is pretty much kind of like textbook, I would say. But I thought that was interesting, and they seem to be like, if you're looking into like water magic and stuff like that, this is like the #1 recommended book apparently, so that's why I thought I'd buy a copy of it. The next book just got delivered yesterday, and that is The Way of the Sea Priestess by Louise Tarrier, and this is 232 pages, and I really like the art on the cover of this. And there, oh look, there's even a picture of it in there. And I just can't think of Sea Priestess without thinking of Annika. But this says, the way of the Sea Priestess, an inner path, immerses you into a world of ancient priestesses and long-lost spiritual practices. You will discover the ancient rites of the Atlantean Sea Priestesses and their wisdom and healing. Journeying with the moon as it waxes and wanes in the night sky, you reflect and meditate on the connection between your inner and outer world. Learn about the goddesses associated with water and invoke them into your life for their blessings and guidance. Listen to the call of the ocean as the tides ebb and flow. Attune to the natural world and understand how you are an intrinsic part of it through meditation and practical exercises. Keeping a moon diary will develop a daily practice so that you may truly know your inner nature and become the sea priestess that is within all of us. So that's quite a cool book, and I like that it has a lot more on goddesses associated with water. I think that's why I bought this book, because I was looking into it and I just couldn't really find a lot, so I thought this was more of an in-depth look at different water goddesses and deities. That's why I got this one. The next book is Sea Magic, Connecting with the Ocean's Energy by Sandra Keynes, and this is 240 pages. And it's such a beautiful cover. I mean, I think online there's different covers on it. One's got a mermaid on it, but this is so beautiful. And this says, invoke the power of the sea and transform your life. Purifying, mesmerising and transformative, the sea has long been celebrated for its beauty and mysterious power. By connecting with the ocean's energies, you can deepen your experience of the natural world and enrich your life. Whether you live near or far from the coast, sea magic takes you on a unique voyage of spiritual rejuvenation. Explore various types of shells and sea creatures, both real and mythical. Call upon sea deities and saints to amplify your spiritual practice and try a wide array of relaxation, exercises and meditative techniques. Set up a sea-themed altar to empower your intentions. Center your energy with a cosmic ocean moon meditation and a conch hand mudra. Don't know what that is. Interesting. I'll find that out, I suppose. Release emotions with an ancient practice known as ocean breath to attune to the tides. Use shells for divination and positive visualization. Select a sea fetch totem animal to take you on a shamanic journey. Dive into your inner world of emotions, imagination and creativity, and let the sea's timeless wisdom guide you on your life path. See, this sounds really cool, and it's got, again, I just love the little chapter headings. They're really cool, and I liked that this was really kind of hands-on and gives you some things to do at the beach and stuff like that. So, oh, and it's got a big list of different myths, deities and saints to do with the water. There's pages and pages of them, so that's really cool. And look, that one even has a little picture. So I think that's the reason why I picked this book, because again I was kind of researching different books to do with sea magic and stuff like that, and this one had a lot of information about different deities and stuff like that, so I thought this was quite a practical guide in here as well. Oh, look, a polar bear. So I liked that one. The next book is also a kind of sea witchery book, but this was a bit controversial because I think in this book it uses like a plastic bottle as a part of a spell that they throw in the ocean, and I think that's kind of irresponsible to put more plastic in the ocean. So I think, like with every book, you should take it with a pinch of salt and kind of adapt it to suit you, because I would never willingly throw a bit of plastic in the ocean. I think that's very wrong. But I wanted to get it to see what this was about, and that is Traditional Witchcraft for the Seashore by Melusine. Draco. I can't say that at all. But on the back it says, few are fortunate to live near enough to the sea to use the shoreline as a regular magical working area. And yet for the natural witch, born and bred by the sea, the beach and rocky shore are equally as magical as the inland woods and hills of more traditional approaches to witchcraft. The author takes us on a magical journey along the seashore and reveals how to work with the natural oceanic tides and energies, learn how to harness the powers of the deep and collect flotsam and jetsam for use as ritual tools, a book like no other. And it's quite a small book, it's 159 pages, but I have read through most of this book already, and it's actually quite good. It's given me a different kind of look. It's given me a bit of a sciencey look, as well as it's got like old lore in it as well, so I quite liked it in that sense. But when I found this book, I also found that this author has other books that are like equally small, but I think they're just good afternoon reads, and so I got them. The first one is Traditional Witchcraft. It seems to be a series called Traditional Witchcraft, and this is for the woods and forests, a witch's guide to the woodland with guided meditations and path working. Again, 159 pages. And on the back it says, no matter where you live, there will always be a wide variety of trees in the immediate vicinity, whether open countryside, urban parkland or gardens. Get to know them, learn them to recognise the different species and draw on the magical power of the tree. Be humbled in the presence of the trees by their great size and beauty, and learn to work with them as a witch. Both traditional witchcraft for fields and hedgerows and traditional witchcraft for woods and forests assume a certain degree of magical understanding on the part of the reader with regard to routine divination spells and circumstancing. For this reason, the text does not include the basic elements of rudimentary witchcraft that can be found in the titles similar to Traditional Witchcraft for Urban Living and Witchcraft for the Seashore. And the next one is in the same series, Traditional Witchcraft, by the same author, but this is for fields and hedgerows, and this is 174 pages. And on the back it says, whether we live in the country, town or city, nature is all around us. It cannot be suppressed, destroyed or eradicated, and if nature suddenly ceased to be, then every living thing on the planet would die. No book ever written can teach us how to become a witch. Only nature can do that. Only nature can coax out those long suppressed abilities and give us back the freedom to be a witch, releasing the knowledge of the old ways back into the world. So let's walk through the fields and along the hedgerows together and discover nature as she moves through the year. And these two books, then back, they assume that the reader has a certain amount of basic knowledge and magical understanding, so they don't go through like the absolute basics like the Shore one does, and the next one, which is Traditional Witchcraft for Urban Living by the same author, and this is 152 pages. And on the back it says, for the witch confined in an urban environment, regular craft practice may often seem like a futile gesture. Especially if home in a small, gardenless flat, even the suburbs can be magically incapacitating. If there is constant noise from traffic and neighbours, people work long hours, often setting off for work and getting home again in the dark during the winter months, without having the opportunity to notice the subtle changing of the seasons. Traditional Witchcraft for Urban Living is a no-holds-barred approach to dealing with the constant barrage of psychic problems that confront the urban witch on a daily basis. Based on the teachings around the traditional craft background, the author successfully manages to blend the old ways with practical contemporary practice. So I thought that would be quite interesting. I know I don't live in a total urban area, I live in suburbs, but I would love to live out in the country, like full-on country, but I still thought this would be quite an interesting read. So that is that. And the final book I have by that author is Traditional Witchcraft and the Path to the Mysteries. I think there is also another one on the like anthropology of something, but I didn't get that one. And this again is 158 pages, and on the back it says Traditional Witchcraft and the Path to Mysteries, the sixth and last book in the Traditional Witchcraft series, is a voyage of discovery, and as with every journey, it is essential that we understand where we are now and where we want to be. We need proper direction, and like popular old Irish saying, if I wanted to be going there, I wouldn't be starting from here. So let us make our preparations, put our house in order, and begin our journey of exploration and self-discovery. As with all stages of life, there are friends and acquaintances to consider. Lessons of some we will take with us, the rest we will leave behind. But as the genie from Where the Rainbow Ends says, time is short and we have far to travel. And then it says a bit about the author. She originally trained in the magical arts of traditional British old craft with Bob and Miriam. She has been a magical and spiritual instructor for over 20 years and author of numerous popular books on witchcraft and magic. Her highly individualistic teaching methods and writing draw on ancient sources, supported by academic texts and current archaeological findings. So that's a bit about the author, so that's quite interesting. I probably will end up getting the last book in the series that I don't have. There's 6 of them, and I have 5, so I'll probably end up getting that just to read through anyway. And last but not least, we have a non-magical fiction book. And this is by one of my favourite authors, and this is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. I thought I'd just show this because I was really excited about it. And it is 672 pages long. It is a big book, but I love this series. It's kind of a little spin-off of the Throne of Glass series about one of the characters he goes to, travels to this other part of the land, blah blah blah, but it's like his story. So it smells really good, so I'm excited to read this. But I don't know anyone else that reads this series, but I absolutely adore this series. It is like I would say young adult, but it's not really young adult. It's kind of new adult fantasy, kind of bit of romance in there. And I really, really enjoy it. It's one of my favourite series. And her writing is absolutely beautiful. So I thought I would just show that to you. And it is massive. But that was my book haul. Yeah, that was a big book haul, and that was a big video, so I better shut up and get lost now. But if you want to check out any of these books, there are links in the description, and I can't wait to get into these. I think I'm going to have to do a few reviews, and I'm definitely going to do a separate video on kind of water witchy books that I've got as well. But I'll see you guys soon. Bye!